Now, let's go to the reading section. How do they go to school? We're going to read and then look at the photos and then answer the questions. How do they go to school? In some countries, children live a long way from their school. They do not go to school by car, bus, or train. Number 1. Every morning, children from this village in Egypt cycle to school. It's a cheap and healthy way to travel. They can always arrive on time. So look at the first picture on the right-hand side. Of course, this boy is going to school by cycling. Let's read number 2. These children live next to Lake Banyoni in Uganda. Their school is on the other side of the lake, so they do not walk to school. They go in a canoe. The canoe takes the children to school and home again every day. Number 3. This boy lives in the USA in winter. There is a lot of snow. The children travel to school on a snowmobile. If you look at the picture on the lower right-hand side, you will see the snowmobile. The snowmobile looks a little bit like the beach buggy, but we ride the beach buggy at the desert, whereas the snowmobile is ridden in very cold places to be able to move or drive on the snow. Let's continue. Now we're going to go to number 1. Look at the photos and answer the questions. How many forms of transport can you see? Of course, if you look at the pictures, you will see that there are 3 ways to be transported from one place to the other. Number 2, which photos show a canoe? I want you to find the canoe that kind of looks a little bit like a boat and we can ride it in water. Okay, which photo shows a snowmobile? Remember, a snowmobile looks like a beach buggy and we ride it when we are driving on snow. Okay, now which photo shows a bike? Of course, if you look at the top right-hand side, you will see the boy, the Egyptian boy, who cycles to school. And therefore, cycling is the same or similar to riding a bike. Now, question 3. Why do you think the children travel to school this way? I want you to think why those children use different means of traveling. Think about their situation in their country and how far their school is and whether they have a river or they have snow or they have paved roads. And each country has a different circumstance and therefore each student goes to school in the way that is most convenient for him or her in their country. Let's continue. Now you can find the answers written here if you want to check. We have already discussed them. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Match the speakers with the correct parts of the text in exercise 2. Let's read question A. Sometimes when it rains, a lot of the water is dangerous and we can't arrive at school on time. B. It's cold, but it's fast and fun. C. When the roads are busy, the bus is slow, but the bike is quick. So I want you to guess which speaker says those 3 quotations or those 3 words or sentences and match them. Now, let's listen and then we will check our answers for exercise 3.
1. Every morning, children from this village in Egypt cycle to school. It is a cheap and healthy way to travel. When the roads are busy, the bus is slow, but the bike is quick. 2. These children live next to Lake Bonyoni in Uganda. Their school is on the other side of the lake, so they do not walk to school. They go in a canoe. The canoe takes the children to school and home again every day. Sometimes when it rains a lot, the water is dangerous and we can't go to school that day. 3. This boy lives in the USA. In winter, there is a lot of snow. The children travel to school on a snowmobile. It's cold, but it's fast and fun.
Now let's check our answers for exercise 3. The second speaker says A. Sometimes when it rains a lot, the water is dangerous and we can't arrive at school on time. So this is the speaker that rides a canoe. Let's go to the next one. B is the third speaker, and he says it's cold, but it's fast and fun. Of course, this person rides the snowmobile. Let's go to exercise C. And this is, of course, speaker 1. When the roads are busy, the bus is slow, but the bike is quick. This is the person in Egypt who rides the bike. Good job, guys. We're going to move on to our speaking section. Answer the following questions. Please bring out your paper and pen to be able to answer the following questions and then discuss with a partner. You can find someone at home and discuss. Number 1, how do you travel to school? I want you to think about how you travel to school, and I prefer if you write it down and then share it with a partner. And you can also ask your partner how they go to school. This can be your friend on the phone, or it can be a family member, or it can be even your teacher or anyone that goes to school. Let's move on to the next question. How long does it take? So, for me, when I'm going to work in the morning or when I'm going to school in the morning, it takes me about 20 minutes. What about you? How long does it take you to get to school? You should calculate it and write your answers down. Number 3, why do some children need to take difficult journeys to school? I'd like you to think about the different circumstances that people live in and understand that people sometimes live far away from school, sometimes they struggle, they don't even have water close to their homes, and they need to travel long distances to get their basic needs such as food, water, and even education. Let's move on. Number 4, why is it important to go to school? Education is very important in the 21st century. It allows you to be prepared for the real world with new jobs that are rising up every single day. So without education, you cannot progress. What about you? Why do you think education is important? Now we're going to go to the writing section. Write about your journey to school in your notebook. Think about these questions. Is the journey easy or difficult? Is it dangerous or safe? And does it always take the same time? Why or why not? If I were going to work, my journey is usually easy because I know the way and I go on the highway and it takes about 15 minutes. Is it dangerous or safe? Of course, driving on a highway for me is sometimes dangerous because cars sometimes go over the speed limit and they cause danger to the cars around them along with themselves. So sometimes it is dangerous. Does it always take the same time? Why or why not? Of course, sometimes when we're going to work or when we're going to school, the roads are jammed or crowded. So sometimes we do not arrive to work or to school at the same time. But what about you? I'd like you to reread the questions and organize your ideas and write them down in a paragraph. So answer all the questions in a paragraph. Let's move on. Now, this is our final exit slip. So this is your ticket out of today's session. Write one sentence using singular apostrophe S and plural apostrophe S. And write about how your friends go to school. And write one sentence using always and another one using never. Good job, guys. That was Miss Sara Bassioni. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.